But Cass, we were talking about Manchester City and the fact that they are through to the Champions League semi-finals for the first time under Pep Guardiola. And you were waxing lyrical, as everyone is, about Phil Foden. What's happened to Raheem Sterling? Because he perhaps is not reaching the peak that people expect him to be at.
Well, it's a little bit unfair to thinking he's playing, say, badly. Look, he doesn't make City's best 11 at the moment, which is extraordinary to where he was. The benchmark is very high at City on performance. I saw him at Everton, and I thought Seamus Coleman got the better of him and just he gave away the ball a lot, which is a bit of a crime. It's one of the things you can't do for Pep Guardiola's team is give away the ball too often, and he did that day. Watched him against Leeds last week. He was a little bit unlucky because the forward line was Gabriel Jesus, it was Torres, and it was him. So it felt like it was the reserve front three, if you like, before they played the Champions League game. And he didn't play well. He didn't play well against Leeds. He struggled again. And I just think it's a bit of a blip that he's facing. It's a tough one for you as a player, Nat. When you're in the first 11, you're a regular and you're week in, week out, and you're not thinking of a big game, whether you'll be in the team. If you want to select Man City's best 11, if you were going to choose a team in a big match, De Bruyne is going to play. Probably Diaz is going to play, and Ederson's going to be in goal. Raheem's not really at that stage now. He's now probably thinking, will I be playing in the game against Chelsea, today? I think he'll play today because Pep does change around a lot. Yeah. But this isn't probably... If it was the FA Cup final, I would probably say Raheem isn't playing. And City fans will tell you he hasn't played well enough to be in their best 11 at the moment. He's just gone a little bit off ball. He wants to have things in between defenders and behind them. He's blisteringly quick. Gareth Southgate needs Raheem at his best more than I think Pep does, because Gareth hasn't got that left-sided player with blistering pace. You could say Rashford could play there, but, Grealish plays there more often. But he's not. He's a passer, he's a mover, he keeps the ball. But he's not going to go in behind teams. Harry Kane loves to have Sterling be in that position because Harry loves to drop deep. He sees the ball behind the fullback, he pings it, Raheem's on his bike. And they do that really well. So it's a tough one. Going into the Euros for him, he's probably thinking, I don't know if I'm going to be in the Champions League semi-final game. I don't know, and big games that they're going to be facing. Will he be in the League Cup final team next week? There's things he's questioning, which I think he'd have known before. He probably would have been, but not now. But
of course, Manchester City have such strength and depth, like everyone knows, like it's always talked about, that whoever he puts out, will do a job, obviously. Yeah. Now, with Raheem Sterling, this is Raheem Sterling. He's so influential. He can turn a game when he's on form, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I remember hearing earlier on this week Simon Jordan referring to him as not world class because he has had this drop in form. Would you agree with that? Is that how you base players? That you have to be consistent every single season? Surely a player does have a blip every now and then.
Most players. Look, if you want to... We always go to the obvious cliche, Ronaldo and, Lionel Messi. The standard is extremely high. My views. I think I've said it before. World class to me is you're the best player in your position. Because World 11, if you're going to... that to me is world class. But a lot of people disagree with me, but that's how I view it. Okay? He has dropped off, but I think if Raheem's on his game, he can be an exceptional talent. I still wouldn't say he's the best. If you said to me Neymar or Sterling, I'd probably say Neymar on the left side. If I saw Eden Hazard at his very, very best, I would have probably said him. But he's had a terrible year. Would he be... Real Madrid paid a record fee for him. But he's had a year that now he's probably hasn't worth half what he went for. So it's fine lines of playing performance. So... I think Raheem's got to really have a turnaround of form as well. Because I look at certain games. If you want to know who your manager thinks his best 11, if they make the Champions League, say they've made Champions League semi-final, but they made a final and you're not in starting lineup, you're not in his best 11. Because that's going to be his ultimate 11. And it will be his ultimate 11 in the semi-final as well, by the way.
But looking at Gareth Southgate and that England squad, he featured in all of the three games in the last international break, scored against San Marino as well, Raheem Sterling. So as much as Gareth Southgate talks about form and picking players on form, he still has this reliance on Raheem Sterling.
Absolutely. I think he needs Raheem more than Pep does at the moment. Yeah. I think Raheem gives something very different to England, and it's that directness and pace and getting behind. that is when I see Raheem, when he played against Trent, he gave him a really hard time because he was trying to get behind him the whole of the match. And when he does, he's lightning quick and he wants to pull balls back. And I certainly know that Kane loves to have him in the side on that left side. Not that he doesn't like Grealish. Grealish might have to find a slightly different role. But he's he affects games, Raheem. But at the moment, he's just having that dip. That, let's be honest, what is Raheem now? 26, 27? You know,
something along. 26.
26.
27 this
year. So
yeah.
He's 26. He's had a bit of a, he's had a hell of a career for a 26-year-old. He was a bit of a star at Liverpool in that front three, and he's done brilliant at City. And this is probably as bad as it's got in recent weeks. Like I said, I saw him against Everton, didn't play well. Leeds last week, struggled. He might be just suffering a bit of confidence and had a dip there, but he's definitely he'll return. I don't know how quick and how that will suit England in the summer and City coming towards the end of the season.
Manchester City through to the semi-finals, as are Chelsea, after they booked their place, beating Porto. They lost the second leg, but they secured it on that 2-1 aggregate win. First time they're through to the semi-finals, Cass, in 7 years. Didn't realise how long it's been.
Really?
Yeah. So
Oh.
I read, unless I've got my stats wrong. But that's what I read.
I'm not that great on stats, so I trust in you.
I don't know about that. My maths is not great. But it was a performance that in that second leg that Chelsea simply took no risks. They knew they had to get the job done. And as much as the goal came very late on, really, the game was already done by the time Porto scored that late consolation. And
Great goal.
A fantastic goal, absolutely, for Porto. Just unfortunately, it kind of was so inconsequential, really.
Yeah.
Didn't mean anything in the end. They're going to play Real Madrid, who knocked out Liverpool after that goalless draw at Anfield and that 3-1 win at the Bernabeu. Chelsea, Real Madrid, how do you see that one playing out? That's going to be interesting.
Well, I think I could see it being far more tactical because Tuchel's done that at Chelsea, where he's set up with a three at the back and he's made games. Like you said, he got through the tie. I think that was the objective, obviously, the way they played against Porto. They never really looked like they were going to win it in the second game because they'd done enough in the first.
Exactly.
And they'd done enough and it's forgotten. Now they're through. Now it's the playing Madrid. Madrid are a funny side. Without going too much on Liverpool, but Liverpool got worse as the game went on in midweek. The game started and they shot it really brightly, but every minute went by, Liverpool got poorer. Chelsea have enough in their side to beat a very well-drilled team. Benzema's been amazing for Real Madrid. And you think of the age of their squad and how, obviously, he's managed them, Zidane. I think he gets criticised really harshly for what he's achieved at Real Madrid. They'll have players back, I'm sure, by, obviously Varane will be back. And for them, it could be Ramos as well. I'm not sure how long he's out for. But it's a great tie to, certainly the Galactico club of Madrid coming up at Chelsea, who have spent money like a Galactico club for years and years and had incredible success. And I read something in the paper this morning that, if Man City win all 4 tournaments, the Premier League,
sure.
FA Cup, League Cup, and Champions League, they're still one short of Chelsea over the period of Roman Abramovich. There still would be one trophy behind.
Which goes to show how successful
it shows you how successful Chelsea have been
in
the last 15 odd years.